My guest tonight, activist and actress Sharon Blynn, is making a name for herself with a key role in the box office hit Captain Marvel. She's appeared in several TV shows and films and is an ovarian cancer survivor. She's here to tell me all about it. Do not click away.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's going on, everybody? We got some jam music. We are very, very excited to be here. At least I am. I know that Sharon is as well. Sharon Blynn.
Hello.
How are you?
High
five again. I love that. I'm very, very excited to talk to you. You are beautiful. You are talented. I am so excited to talk to you.
Oh my gosh, I'm blushing.
I mean, don't blush. Don't blush. We are here to talk about your key role in the upcoming, in the film that's already out, Captain Marvel. You are an ovarian cancer survivor. You've got an organization. I want to talk about all of that. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
Think of it like a Tinder date. It's our first date.
Oh my God, swipe left.
Gee, thanks.
Oh wait, swipe
Me,
right.
I'm your date.
Sorry, I'm clearly not a Tinder person.
Clearly.
No apps. I grew up in Florida.
Okay.
Which I'm a New Yorker. Lived in New York for 30 years. Harlem and Hell's Kitchen.
Nice.
Nice little studio, walk-up apartment on 56th Street.
Let's be clear. Any apartment in New York is a studio.
That's redundant, right? Small studio. It's cozy.
It's cozy.
I used to work in the music business, in the jazz biz. I worked at Verve Records and Blue Note Records and was a staple in the late night 2 a.m. sets in the New York jazz scene. And my life took a little bit of a detour when I left the music business and got diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And then had this inspiration to start Bald is Beautiful, and here I am.
And I'm so excited that you are here.
Me too.
Why did you decide to become an actress?
Well, it was because of, I had never done any acting before. It was because of what I went through with, initially, especially the hair loss with chemotherapy, and being forced to face all these questions about how I was perceiving myself and my womanhood, and am I going to be pretty without my hair, and all these questions. Not only the questions themselves coming up, but what annoyed me was the fact that I was having those questions while I'm fighting for my life. Just felt like disproportionately important.
So insignificant, yes.
Yeah, and meeting so many other women along the way who had the same feelings, where it was harder to lose hair or even breast reproductive organs than going through cancer. And I just thought, okay, I need to do something to change that. And there's the power of the visual media to shape how we view ourselves and each other. And so, okay, well, I guess that's what I'm going to do. And there it was when I finished with the cancer thing. I took some pictures, slapped a mission statement on the back, and started pounding the pavement in New York City to start being an actor.
She's a hustler, everybody. Yeah. I do want to talk about your journey with ovarian cancer.
Yes.
But before we get to that, I want to talk about your
first,
other journey.
My marvelous
your Marvel
journal
experience.
Yes.
I do want to talk about, because I usually ask the actors that are on my show the role models that they had, their acting role models that they've had growing up. But you necessarily didn't really want to be an actress when you were growing up. You were part of really the music industry.
Yes.
But who were some of your role models growing up?
So a lot of the acting role models or idols that I would have are a lot of the same that actors probably have anyway, which, people like Meryl Streep, Glenn Close, Kathy Bates. I had a new appreciation for her, actually, as she's also an ovarian cancer survivor, which a lot of people don't know, because people don't necessarily talk about ovarian cancer all that much, which is part of also why I do what I do. And, Denzel Washington, Anthony Hopkins, Laurence Olivier. I mean, I grew up watching also just a lot of black and white, like 40s, 50s movies.
I heard your reference earlier to Mr. DeMille, so
yes,
I assumed.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. So it's just a wide range, but I'm also a huge cartoon head. First of all, of course, I love Marvel cartoons, but my brother and sister and I grew up watching Looney Tunes. We're total Marvel, Warner Brothers Looney Tune heads, too. So it's kind of full spectrum.
Who was your favorite Looney Tunes character, just for fun?
Oh my gosh, Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, okay, nice. Mine is Tweety Bird.
Okay,
Obviously,
but all of them really. But yes.
Of course. Let's talk about Captain Marvel.
Okay.
That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal.
It is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, for everybody, for our guests who are watching, our viewers who've been living under a rock, tell them what
space rock.
Yeah, a space rock. Tell them what Captain Marvel is about, what the movie is about, and the role that you play.
Captain Marvel is the first female-led superhero film in the MCU, and it is actually the Captain Marvel character. Just a little nerdy history lesson.
No, give it to me.
Has gone through a lot of changes. Captain Marvel started. Well, it's way too detailed to go to real deep history. But basically, it used to be a white dude. It got through.
What hasn't?
Yeah, I know. Doesn't everything starts there, and then it just gets better. It does get better. And it was even actually a black female, Monica Rambeau, who is in the Captain Marvel movie as a young girl in this movie. She ended up totally spacing on the name she became, but she became one of the Avengers as well. And then this is the Carol Danvers version, which I think began in the late 60s. And so this movie is sort of her origin story. So it's set in the 1990s. And it's between Infinity War and Endgame in terms of movie sequence, if you guys are going to see this in order. But you can see it on its own, actually. It's her origin story, and it basically tells you how she came into having her powers and what it means and who she is in the scope of all the characters.
And the role that you play?
I played a character named Soren. Wife of Talos, played by Ben Mendelsohn.
Bill Mendelsohn. We love Bill Mendelsohn.
I like Ben Mendelsohn. Very nice person.
But we love Sharon Blynn, too.
Yes, thank you. So I'm Talos' wife. Talos is the main Skrull. I'm a Skrull, an alien being. And we have been held hostage refugees, so to speak, by the Kree, and for I think 5 or 6 years, I think is what it is. And so that's how we're sort of introduced. I don't want to give any spoilers
No, of course
talking
not,
about that, but I'm Talos' wife. That's all I'll say.
That's all you'll say. Go see it if you want to see more, if you want to find out more. What
Yes.
was it like working with Bill Mendelsohn and Brie Larson and Jude Law and all these crazy names?
Oh, gosh. I worked mainly directly with Ben and Brie.
Ben, sorry, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Bill, sorry.
Bill.
Yeah.
Ben and Brie.
Yes.
Sam was in the scenes, but we didn't have exchanges or dialogue together, but we were in the scenes together. And Lashana Lynch, who played Maria Rambeau. And with Jude, he was on the set one day where all of them actually were on the set. Jude and Jaimon Hunsu and everybody. So that was great.
Yeah.
Everybody was super friendly and warm. And it didn't feel like there was a hierarchy of egos or, weird, like you can't make eye contact with so-and-so. There were no weird writers that I was warned about with anybody. It was just everybody enjoying themselves, telling story, having a great time. It felt like everybody on the set, crew included, were all fans.
Oh, wow.
So there was just, the energy was just so brilliant and fun and great. And the directing team of Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, never worked with two directors before, and that was awesome. And their collaborative energy and spirit, not only with each other, but like how we engaged. It was sort of like, I came to the set with my ideas of how I wanted to do things and what I wanted to infuse into the character. And if they wanted something different, they would, we were just talking, or what do you think? It was just very open and inviting and just beautiful.
I assume when you got the role, the call that you got the role, what was that like?
I laughed, I cried, mostly cried.
I would cry too.
Joyful tears, but just, I actually was in complete disbelief. My manager, Kat, had to spend about 20 minutes to convince me that it was real, that it wasn't going away. And she actually had told me to sit down. I need you to sit down. And I was like, wait, that's either really great or really awful news. And I did sit down. And she told me, and we both were crying together. She's a fan too, a Marvel fan.
Wow.
So the two of us were just nerding out, geeking out, crying, laughing, everything. Just so much. As an actor, it's a huge thing. Personally, as a Marvel fan, it's a huge thing. For Bald is Beautiful, which is this tiny little wacky idea, I had to do this thing that is completely impractical, and I did it. And now, 15 years later, after starting this journey of Bald is Beautiful, this being on the list of accomplishments, it's beyond. And that it's this female-centered, kick-ass, female-led superhero, the first female director in the MCU. It's just, there's so much that is total Sharon Blynn jam.
Yes.
That is, so it's beyond words.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
That's amazing. You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And positive and negative. I do want to talk about your cancer battle.
Yes.
Ovarian cancer. You are a survivor.
I am. January was 16 years.
High five.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. Did you have a support system when you got the diagnosis? What was that like?
Yes. The diagnosis is one of those things I think probably everyone experiences a certain way when the word malignant is tossed around, or oncologist or cancer, time kind of stops, and I can't really hear things very well. I always had my twin sister. Was my main caregiver, and I had my boyfriend at the time. We were actually long distance New York to London for 7 years total. It ended up being. So he flew back and forth for all my treatments and everything. So he was there. My brother, and of course my parents. So I had. And family friends. I was in Miami visiting my parents actually for a week for vacation, and that's where I was diagnosed. So my 1 week vacation became a 3-year, what I call a medical mystery tour because there's no test for ovarian cancer. There's no screening test. So it was second opinion, then third opinion, then fourth opinion, and then basically surgery in order to look at something under the microscope to make the pathology and the diagnosis. So it was just a lot of unknown. It was really scary. But somehow I just went right into like my nerd button, my research mode of, okay, now I have to know everything about ovarian cancer, and let me find out everything about alternative treatments and complementary therapies. And, so I went into research mode and that was part of, I guess, my survival technique too, is doing that and learning, okay, how can I figure out how I want to move through this experience?
Now, because of your diagnosis, you founded Bald is Beautiful.
Yes.
It's an organization that supports ovarian cancer programs and helps bring awareness to the disease.
Yes.
Why? What made you think of going that extra step?
Because I had met so many women that had a harder time with the quote unquote side effects of cancer treatment than having cancer. And I just really wanted to activate the visual media, TV, film, and print, to put images out there that support us, that are societal hugs, so to speak. I was 28 at the time, very young, and I never saw anyone who looked like me on TV and film who's going through cancer. Like, even if you're talking about depicting someone going through cancer in a movie or a TV show, they didn't look like me. They looked way older. They looked very frail and even carrying some amounts of shame around the baldness. So they were always covering it up, and it was never a fashionable head covering. Like, all these things that are sort of telling us how we're supposed to feel about it, and they always made me feel worse about what I was going through. And I said, you know what, I think we can probably start telling some new stories around this that reflect what's really happening.
Yeah.
As an option, that other story is very common and told, and we got it. Now let's put a new narrative out there, and I wanted to do that for people, myself included.
Good for you. I definitely think that image is needed, and clearly it's paid off. Because you've stuck with the look, I see.
I have stuck with the look. It was so funny when I started it. I said, okay, I'm just going to go for this. I don't want to have another super fab idea that I set aside and don't pursue. Because now, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, life is short.
Yes.
So I had left the music business, and I had this idea. And instead of saying, okay, I'm going to be responsible and go back to the day job and do that, I just said, you know what? I really feel a calling. I feel this is a life purpose calling that has come in, and I have to do it. And my sister was very supportive of it. She actually gave me my first acting gig. I can tell you about that another time. But it was a play. It was on stage. So my first acting job was in the gauntlet, in the fire of a stage live performance.
Yes.
Terrifying. But I got the bug. Yeah. When I did it, I was like, oh, wow, I really like this storytelling thing. I like this emotion and connection with people and all that. And it was a very personal experience too. So I just said, I really have to commit to doing this. It's calling to me, and I don't want to turn away from it.
I love this. I love that it's it's like a full circle. It's like you started with this, and now you're in a freaking Marvel film, Captain Marvel. That's insane.
It's unreal.
That's insane. I think that's amazing. Congratulations for everything that you've accomplished throughout your career, throughout your life. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
That's amazing. You've been in several TV shows, Shameless, The Detour, Body of Proof. Your film credits The Historian Paradox, The Skeptics. I can't say it.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah, I can't remember. Grimshaw. What was your favorite to work on?
God, they're all my favorites, and I mean that sincerely. I could say Captain Marvel for so many other reasons, but Shameless, I got to work with William H. Macy directly. Yes. That was my scene partner, so to speak, in the scene, which was amazing, along with all the other wonderful women in this cancer support group where the scene took place. The Detour was hilarious and funny, also because I had the thing about wearing wigs, and my manager was, when she sent me the audition thing, she's like, I know about the wig thing, just read the scene first, it's hilarious, then call me. Don't say anything until you read it. And then I said, oh yeah, that is hilarious. And it made cancer like this sexy thing. And I was like, okay, I can get down with that for sure. So they all have these, individually, they have these wonderful experiences. And again, every accomplishment is validating, I did the right thing in doing this Bald is
Yes.
Beautiful. And now, as Oliver would say, please, sir, can I have some more?
And I'm sure there is so much more for you. What else do you have coming up?
There's various things percolating.
things in there.
Gotta stay tuned. with
Okay,
that.
well, if fans do want to stay tuned with what you have
Yes.
coming up, where can they find you?
Well, on Instagram, I'm at bald.is.beautiful, bald.is.beautiful. Facebook, there's a Facebook blog. It's Facebook/Bald is Beautiful blog. And also my website, which is there for everyone, baldisbeautiful.org. And I invite people to please, everyone knows someone, or they know someone who knows someone who's going through cancer,
Yes.
or they themselves are going through it. That's as wide as it goes. So the website is there to share with anyone who you think it would inspire, inform, encourage, whatever, and share it with anyone you think could use it.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much for talking to me today. I am very
Thank you.
excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, if you haven't, go check out Captain Marvel to see my new friend Sharon Blynn on the big screen. And as Sharon said, if anybody, you or anybody that you know is going through cancer, ovarian, whatever cancer that you're going through, there are resources and help out there available to you. You could also go to baldisbeautiful.org to get some resources there as well. I am Timothy Michael. You guys can find me everywhere at I am Timothy Mike. We'll see you guys next time.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.